Yeah, did you send it to me?
Yes.
My computer froze.
That
You'll need a mic too, Andrea.
and there is one there with an extra long cord now.
This one
so
here.
you can walk to the back of the room with the cord should you want to.
Do you have it there?
I'm looking for it now.
It is recording right now. I'm just not sure if we're live. I think
Watch the, there we go.
Wow, look at that.
Sir. It's probably not turned on though. It'll go up too if you don't want to hold it. Like if you're going to sit there, are you going to sit there? Okay.
Mr. Day took my duplicate.
So, Scott, oh, sorry.
Did you want it, Scott, you have it?
Oh, here it is. It's sitting right there and I couldn't see it.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
sorry.
I had said it there earlier.
Okay, so I think this will work in theory. Just checking to see that we have.
Channel 2.
It has to. Should be okay. I don't know what has happened with my computer.
Okay.
Skip for now.
I believe it is. I mean, I did exactly what we did. It says that it's we're live, so I believe we're good. So, Mr. Mayor,
Okay, we ready?
I would allow you to proceed.
Okay, I'm going to call the special council meeting for the town of Westville to order. Everyone is present who needs to be present, full council, and Andrea from our finance department is going to be presenting the budget. So we have the main purpose of the meeting, as everyone is aware, is to review the budget for this year. And there's going to be one additional item added there with regard to the library funding issue that we're all familiar with, I believe, that was presented to us by the library a week or so ago, and we followed up with a letter to the province on behalf of council. But we'll speak to that after we deal with the budget.
Yeah, and Mr.
Sheila?
Mayor, there's also,
Yes.
there's a couple of additions that also came out of the
PAC.
Planning Advisory Commission,
Right.
our committee, just a little bit ago.
Yep.
So there are a number of add-ons to that agenda. But
Yeah.
I'll drive you through that.
Yeah,
if that's all right with you.
it'll be the disposal of the Rundle Lane and the draft acquisition policy and the possible acquisition of property.
Possible acquisition, yeah, I don't think the policy, but just the possible acquisition.
Okay,
So if you'll allow me, I'll press the button and we should be able to see. Oops, it's just gone dark on me for a moment, but here it comes. Oops, that's not the right one. That's not it either, sorry. Just need to find the right. Where did it go on me now? Oh, because I'm in the wrong thing. Sorry, PowerPoint disappeared on me for some reason. Okay, here we go. And I may have to go over here, and then here, and then here. And I believe it will come up now, he said, hopefully. There we go. Look at that.
magic.
How
Andrea, you're on.
And
Okay.
if you just tell me when you want to go to the next thing, I'll be your
Flipper.
flipper
Clicker.
over person.
Vanna.
Clicker.
That sounds good. We can handle that. So, good evening, everyone, Mayor and Council. So, as Lenny said, the Mayor said, my name is Andrea Curry, and I'm going to be presenting you with your 2025-2026 draft budget. Let's see if I can say that 10 times fast, right? The first slide is just a couple of financial realities. So I just wanted to point out that with regards to property tax assessments for the town of Westville, residential tax assessments have increased by approximately 6.9%. The commercial assessments have stayed fairly flat, not increasing more than a percentage point. That has generated approximately $245,000 worth of additional revenue for the town of Westville in 25-26. I'm also pointing out that there has been an increase to the mandated provincial payments. That increase is 7.6% and is additional $39,000 to the town of Westville in 25-26. I bring that up on the same screen because it is also related to your tax assessment increases. So as you've increased your tax assessment to generate $245,000, you've turned around and also had to incur an additional expense of $39,000 with relating to mandated costs for the province, and that specifically being for the school board. Next slide, Scott.
Oops, wrong direction, sorry about that.
So the proposed general operating expenses for 25-26 are $6,256,135, and this is an overall increase of $276,768, or 4.6% over the prior year's budget. The budget includes increased repairs and maintenance expenses for your existing infrastructure, specifically the town hall. Also, the budget includes wage increases that are based on your collective agreements that are in place, and also has estimations in there for contracts that are still required negotiations. On top of that, there are significant increases to your borrowing costs. That relates to capital expenditures that the town took on. I'll name Cowan Street as an example. So the town borrowed to cover the cost of those capital projects, and those expenses, the principal loan payments, are seen in the 25-26 budget.
Oops, wrong way again.
I would highlight that in the budget there, citizens should not expect to see any increases. So there's no tax rate increase, nor is there a a sewer rate increase for the 25-26 budget. This slide is showing a comparison for the general operating revenue, comparing budget 2024-25 to the draft budget 25-26. Just the area to note with regards to the revenue is that you're going to see the $245,000 increase in your residential tax line. Everything else has remained fairly consistent. For the 25-26 general operating expenses, again, comparing 24-25 to your draft 25-26. Areas that I would note here specifically would be your fiscal services line, which I just spoke about, increase there being approximately $200,000, and that is where you're finding your principal payment and loan payments for the borrowing for the capital expenditures. The next slide is showing your general capital budget. So overall, your capital expenditures for next year are $1,384,114. Council will continue to spend money on road and sidewalk repairs. There's also funds to be spent on accessibility upgrades, focusing on town hall, as well as there will be improvements to the town hall gymnasium. And those improvements are due to a provincial grant that was received by the town for that specific project. Also, the town will see the beginning of the work done for Megan's Place. So of the $1.384114 in capital spending, I did want to note that $30,000 of that is all that is coming out of the town's funding. The other funding is coming from grants that have been received from, say, provincial or federal organizations and/or donations. Next slide is for your water operating and capital budget. So just to let citizens know, the water rates are approved by the Nova Scotia Regulatory and Appeals Board, and that was formerly known as the Nova Scotia Utility and Review Board. So there will be no increases to the water rates for the 25-26 budget. Total operating expenses for water, $1,315,945. and total water capital budget, $334,436. This is a slide showing the comparison for your water operating budget, 24-25 compared to 25-26, and the water budget has minimal changes year over year. There's a slight estimation for increase in water revenue due to the new water meters that have been installed. The 25-26 water capital budget of $334,436 consists of leak detection equipment, some other equipment with regards to ensuring that your water is treated properly and maintained, as well as the project associated with looking for additional water sources. So again, of the projects of the $334,000, $53,000 of it is coming from your own reserves. The rest is grant funding. So that concludes the presentation of the budget, and I'm going to pass it over to the CAO so that he can read the resolutions for the budget approval. Thank you.
Thanks.
Just before Andrea goes too far, is any questions remaining that council has? We should indicate that we've had an opportunity as a council to review this previously, for those that are curious about that. So there may not be too many questions that haven't been asked previously, but if there are some that propped up in any councilor's mind going since that discussion, now will be the time. I just want to point out that the capital budget wasn't mentioned there because we had dealt with the capital, the paving, street paving and sidewalks and so on has not been, we have a budget number on the capital expense, but we haven't determined which
Where it's being
projects
spent.
are going to go forward. I say that because I was asked that by a couple people already. What streets are being looked at, what sidewalks are being looked at, so on. So my point of saying that is that we have the number in our budget, a global number, but we don't have the breakdown as to what we're planning to actually proceed with tendering on to do the street, what streets and what sidewalks. And we're waiting for, really, we asked our Public Works Department to give us a priority list. They're the experts, they know, and that goes to the point that the decisions are based on, hopefully some good criteria with regard to the vehicle traffic, the condition of the street, for example, and then they are prioritized, and we try to stick to that every year. Correct, C.A. Weirs?
Yeah, Your Honor, a couple of things that I can add to that. One is that that's exactly right, and Public Works staff are building that list of recommendations as we speak. The other thing that I can let council know is that as last year, the town of Westville and the town of Pictou have gone together to collectively purchase patching services, and that RFP is on the street already. And so I expect it to close either this week or next, and so we should be in good spot to get patching done early this year, earlier than usual, I guess. And one of the new features that we negotiated with our friends in Pictou was that a certain amount of patching that needs to happen before Canada Day, that we get that done in as early as possible, so that we aren't kind of rushing at the last moment to try and patch up Main Street or whatever in advance of the Canada Day parade.
And patching comes out of the operating
Correct.
budget as opposed to the capital budget.
Correct. So if you'd like, Mr. Mayor, I could read you a proposed resolution regarding the general operating capital budget and then the water utility operating capital budget.
So do, yes.
Okay, so regarding the general operating capital budget, whereas the town of Westville is required to prepare and approve an annual operating and capital budget for the town, and whereas Town Council of Westville has received and discussed a proposed operating and capital budget and has determined that there are there will be no change in tax rates. Therefore, be it resolved that the estimated expenditures of the town of Westville for the period April 1, 2025 to March 31, 2026 be approved and adopted in the amount of $6,256,135, and after making allowance for estimated revenue in the amount of $1,927,283, the amount of $4,328,852 is required from the general taxation to be of the assessed valuation of $192,948,100.
It's a big number.
It's a big number, yeah. The residential rate, therefore be it resolved that the council authorizes the leveling and collection of a rate for the current year of $2.13 per $100 of assessment for residential and resource property. Be it further resolved that council authorizes the leveling and collection of a rate for the current year of $3.95 per $100 of assessment for commercial property. Be it further resolved that council authorizes the leveling and collection of a rate for the current year of $1.17 per cubic meter of water consumed. And be it further resolved that the payment of rates and taxes be set down for 2025-26 as accepted and approved by cabinet, or by council, not cabinet, sorry, shall be required to be made to the treasurer on or before the 31st day of October 2025. In an additional charge at the rate of 1.17% per month shall be and is hereby imposed for the non-payment of such taxes, rates and taxes by the 29th day of May 2025 on the interim bill, and at the same rate for the non-payment of such rates and taxes by the 31st day of October 2025 on the final billing. Such interest to be added after the due dates above, and I believe that's it.
Okay, I'll move to approve the general operating capital budget.
Could you repeat the resolution?
I'll second it. Sorry.
You go ahead.
Well, so we have a motion. Are you ready for the question?
Question.
Question's being called. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion is carried.
Regarding the water utility operating and capital budget, mercifully, this is a much shorter resolution. Whereas the town of Westville is required to prepare and approve an annual operating and capital budget for the water utility, and whereas the town council of Westville has received and discussed a proposed water utility operating capital budget, therefore be it resolved that Westville Town Council approve the water utility operating budget for 25-26. With the proposed revenue of $1,239,283 and proposed expenses of $1,315,945, with a budgeted deficit of $76,662 to be funded from the water utilities accumulated surplus.
I'll move to accept the water utility
Go ahead,
operating
Mitch.
budget.
Go ahead, Mitch.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Are you ready for the question?
Question.
Question's called. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion is carried. Mr. Weirs.
Those are your budget.
There's our budget ones.
Your budget items, Mr. Mayor. There
So-
are a couple of other.
Before we move on, I just want to express on behalf of council our appreciation to Andrea Curry, our financial wizard, for all her help in preparing the budget, and not just in preparing the budget, but what she does for us on a daily, weekly basis. Much appreciated. We respect your opinion and your sound advice, and we're grateful to have your participation in preparing the budget with us. So thank you, Andrea.
Thank you.
Okay, a couple other items then. So we have the Rundle,
Rundle's Lane, right.
right.
So, just with regard to the disposition or disposal of property at 1921 Rundles Lane that you discussed during PAC, and that PAC recommended the disposition of it or the disposal of this property. Whereas Westville Council has previously expressed its desire to use surplus municipal land to help address the housing crisis facing Nova Scotia, and whereas the town owns a fully serviced and vacant lot at 1921 Rundles Lane, PID 01031111, and whereas town staff have confirmed that there are no known municipal uses for the property, and whereas Westville Planning Advisory Committee considered the potential for development of the property in question at its April 16th, 2025 meeting and supported the staff recommendation to release the property in question for development purposes, therefore be it resolved that council deem the property, the town-owned property at 1921 Rundles Lane, PID 01031111, surplus to municipal need. And therefore, and be it further resolved that the property be disposed of in a manner that ensures the property in question is either built on or used to facilitate the construction of one or more dwellings within 24 months of purchase, and that any dwellings involved shall be completed within 12 months of a building permit being issued for the property. And be it further resolved that staff be directed to proceed with the disposal of the lands in accordance with the town's disposal of surplus property policy.
So moved.
Moved, seconder?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Ready for the question? Questions called. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion is carried. Next item.
I'm assuming that we've verified that we own that property.
Correct.
Yes,
Yeah, we've had, in fact, so to your point, Councillor McGregor, you know, every time we try and do something with property that we found, there is a search underway right now. As I said, a survey is, I believe was done today, though I haven't heard from the surveyor yet. And a valuation, a market evaluation or valuation of the property has been completed.
Perfect.
And so once I get confirmation from our municipal solicitor that we have full and clear title, I believe we do in this case, but I believed that before and been wrong.
we'll make certain this
We
time.
will then move to do it, and so we won't dispose of it, we won't put it on the market until we're
Absolutely
sure that all
certain.
the ducks are
100%.
lined up.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I know I have another one here. I'm
The,
looking for it.
the review of the property acquisition policy was moved to council as well, as I recall.
Yes, so you did the PAC, thank you. I was trying to remember which committee we were dealing with. PAC did recommend that that we move the proposed
Property acquisition
property
policy.
acquisition policy forward to council for review at a future date.
Okay, so we'll deal with that probably at our next council meeting, which
Which-
will be the 28th?
Could be the 28th.
Could be the 28th.
or
We
could
needed,
be
we were
May.
discussing that.
Right.
Because of the fact that we were having this, I'll discuss it right now. Because we're having the fact that we're having this special meeting now, and we had a previous special meeting, it appears, in talking with the CAO and others, that there isn't a whole lot that we have on our agenda for the meeting on the 28th, which is this coming, no, it's a week from
A week
this
from
coming
Monday.
A week from Monday.
Week from Monday. So unless something materializes, we may in fact forego that meeting, that particular council meeting, but we'll play that by a little bit by ear. I think it's fair to say, CO, depending on what the need is. If, the unfortunate part may be that will drive it to, that we should have it, is that we did not have the regular meeting in March.
And you worked
And
that
so,
one, that was gonna be-
so we did not get the monthly reports. So if at the very least, we just receive the reports, our monthly reports and catch up, it might be a good idea. The more I think about it, and I'm thinking about this as I'm talking, I'm arriving at the conclusion that probably we should just go ahead and
And
plan
have
to
it.
have it,
Yeah,
regardless of what we have on our
Not that
plate.
It'll be shorter than normal.
It'll be shorter than normal,
Yeah.
probably.
That would have been my
Okay.
exact comment,
Okay.
Your Worship, as well. And the other thing is, although we've had meetings, they've all had specific
Right.
purposes.
Good point.
And, you know, the public engagement piece, there may be folks that are kind of waiting for
Right.
a regular council meeting to discuss stuff. So I would agree with.
Okay, very good
Yeah.
point. So we'll address that acquisition policy. That'll be on the agenda
28th.
for that on the 28th. Okay. Sounds
So
good.
just a mover and seconder then for a resolution to move
Oh.
the acquisition policy forward to the
To-
next meeting of
To
council.
the
So
meeting.
moved.
I'll
Seconded?
second it.
Moved and seconded. Ready for the question?
Question.
Questions called. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion is carried. So the only other item, I think, where's this, or two more? Okay, go ahead.
Recommendation about, so this was obviously debated in council, or in camera, sorry. So there is
Oh,
a
right.
resolution to drive staff to look for, at a property acquisition. So whereas council's previously expressed interest in being able to encourage increased development in Westville, town has been offered a gift, a fully serviced vacant lot. And whereas staff have confirmed that Westville has the authority to accept such gifts of property under Section 50 of the MGA. And whereas having custody and control of a service lot could provide council with an opportunity to influence future development in Westville. Whereas the Planning Commission has reviewed the offer at its April 16th, 2025 meeting and supported a staff recommendation about acquisition. Therefore, be it resolved that council directs staff to work toward acquiring the property located at a site to be kept
Determined.
confidential until the deal's done, as it were, conditional on the CAO and development officer being confident that the property in question is suitable for development. Therefore, be it resolved that the property owner, that staff be asked to proceed with acquisition.
So moved.
Moved, seconded?
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. You ready for the question?
Question?
Question called. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion is carried. So the only other, I think the only other thing was the one that I brought forward to CAO
Correct.
today. And just very quickly, the library funding issue that's around and we're well aware of because we had the presentation from Chief Librarian Stackhouse at our Committee of the Whole previously. And following that meeting, we did create a letter to go to the minister expressing our concern about the lack of funding and encouraging the provincial government to come forth with the required funding. One step further, we took it to the mayors and wardens meeting for Pictou County and had the endorsement of all the municipalities, all 6 of us, to agree to that letter. So they all signed on, all the mayors and warden signed that letter, which went to the province. We have not received a reply as of yet. We're waiting for that. But we did convey that to Mr. Stackhouse that we'd taken that step. The next step, in my opinion, and this is just very quickly, so the NSFM, the Nova Scotia Federation of Municipalities, in its new structure, has a number of advocacy committees, and so designed to bring matters from municipalities to the province that we deem to be important. I think that this is one of those issues. I happen to, just coincidentally, chair the Municipal Autonomy Committee as one of those advocacy committees. And I think it would be appropriate that the Advocacy Committee receive this as one that we recommend to the board to go forward on to bring to the province. So that's sort of the high-level explanation of what I'm proposing. The way that it works, by the way. So the way that things get to be advocated by the NSFM, all councils, a motion has to come from a council asking that some matter be considered as an advocacy item, and the board has to approve of that and then send it to the appropriate committee for action. And so that's the step that I'm proposing that we take tonight. Because under the new structure of the NSFM, the membership consists of municipalities. So, there's 49 of us now. So each municipality is a member. So the request has to come from a member, which is a council, right? Not an individual councillor or mayor. So that's the purpose of what I'm proposing. And with the assistance, the great assistance of the whereas guy, our CAO, who has a knack for drafting these things, I asked this afternoon if we put something together quickly, and I know he has something, and I'll ask him just to read it if he can.
So regarding library funding, whereas the town of Westville enjoys and values the services provided by the Pictou and Antigonish Regional Library System, and whereas the Town Council of Westville is aware that the provincial support provided all libraries has not been keeping pace with the needs of the libraries, and whereas a provincial-wide approach to addressing library funding, the library funding issue would be helpful to municipalities across the province, therefore be it resolved that Westville Town Council recommends that the Nova Scotia Federation of Municipalities refer the issue of library funding to its Municipal Autonomy Advocacy Committee for discussion and action.
So moved.
Second.
Second, yeah.
Moved and seconded. Ready for the question? Questions called. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion's carried. Thank you very much, Council, for taking
That's
that.
important, yeah.
So I think
I'm done.
CAO is done. That's good. Well, we hope you're not done. We hope you're going to continue. But the next meeting then will be our regular meeting on the 28th of this month, a week from Monday. And with no further business, I say we are adjourned.